So I'm back at the camper at the bustling Tonfanau station. Yeah, that was a good trip, well worth a visit. When I come back with Arthur, we'll definitely take spades to the beach and do some good digging. Yeah, that's it for this adventure. So that's Tonfanau Hidden Beach, and let's see how I get on at the next one, which is just slightly up the coast. So here's the start of my next adventure, Tonfanau station. My destination is actually just behind it. You might be able to see the old World War II army barracks. So there's a bit of history just here. We're right on the it's the edge of Snowdonia, right on the Welsh coast at Cardigan Bay. And behind me is just some beautiful countryside. This is probably the quietest place I've been. When I arrived last night, last night was pretty eerie because I had a bit of a marathon work day yesterday. I was at Carding Mill and Lightspout Falls in the National Trust car park. It had 5G signal and I was all happy doing work, and I was working on some fairly taxing things as far as my brain power, and I really wanted to keep focused on it. It ultimately meant that I worked until midnight, which is something I rarely do now. Well, actually I haven't done that in my sort of new life because it's not a healthy thing to do, but I'm in a really good space with my work. It's really part of my life rather than work and social, so I love that. And at midnight I just decided, well, it would be nice to wake up next to the seaside, so I drove across here. It was a 2-hour drive. Parked actually just up the road, but it was all a bit eerie, so I wasn't quite sure. But waking up here today is really stunning, and I've got a fairly chunky itinerary of things I'd like to do on this trip before getting back to Pershore to collect, or getting back to Pershore on Thursday, so today's Saturday, so I can do all my bits and bobs ready to collect Arthur from school on Friday, and then we go off on our Arthur and Daddy adventure over the weekend. So let's have a look at my itinerary for this next week. So I've basically travelled all the way through sort of the night, got here about 2:30, all the way over to number 10, which is Tonfanau. So I'm actually going to head to the beach. After that, I'm going to go up to 15, which is Llangelynin Beach. I really do need help with the pronunciations. My idea then is to drive back down this road and then go through Dolgok to number 7, which is Nant Gwernol and Bryn Eglwys. Then across to 21 and 16. So 21 is Birds Rock and the River Dicini, and 16 is Casterly Bear at Abergynolwyn. Now the book says that the sunsets from 21 and 16 are pretty epic, so my plan is to be there this evening to watch those sunsets, and then after that I'm going to come back. I'm going to go to number 5, which is Taliflin, and then we're going to head in, so we're sort of in Snowdonia here. We're going to go to number 1, Lyn Gaffer, and then I'm going to come, we'll keep going a little bit farther, so number 9, Penrhyn Gwyn Waterfalls, and then head across to number 3, so Lynnow Creganan, and then number 8, Artog Waterfalls. I'm going to have a look at number 2. Now the book says you get to a disused quarry through a tunnel, and the book says the tunnel at last update was blocked off, so that's just a bit of a TBC. And then I'm going to come back out to 14, which is Mordack Trail, So I'm going to see how I get on. May not get around to all those places, but that's the plan between now and next Thursday. And yeah, if I get on a bit better than that, I can travel around a bit more. Then I quite fancy a look at Portmeirion, which is quite a uniquely designed seaside town. But yeah, we're going to see how we get on. But anyway, the first one is where I am now. So I'm about to head off and take a walk past the World War II barracks to Tonfanau beach. So the first part of the trip, which I love, just behind me, is a path across the railway track. Very rural, I love that. And then in front is the remains of the World War II barracks. And must have been a fairly busy place back in the day, because there's these sort of bases here. I imagine it was an important location. If the Nazis were able to come this far inland, then they could, I suppose, mounted a land invasion, but something I don't know anything about, just guessing. So yeah, walking up this track over the station and the railway, and then we should be getting to the beach just down here. That's a pretty cool view. A couple of weeks ago, Arthur and I were the other side of Cardigan Bay. I think it's a place called Langandrog, which is somewhere I'd like to head again. But considering parking just on the road opposite the station here, it looks like it's a pretty close walk down to the beach, and it is an absolutely stunning day. With us being on the edge of Snowdonia, you really got lovely hill and mountain backdrops, which is, from what I've seen, a bit unusual for when you're on the coast. Generally you got a choice between the sea or driving inland to go to the mountains, but here you've got it sort of all around you, so it's some good options. Not sure how much you're going to be able to hear because it's pretty windy, but anyway, I've sort of come across stones. Path over there, mountains in the background. We got low tide, maybe exposed beach. How cool is this? Another amazing hidden beach on Cardigan Bay. What an amazing view! Fishermen over there catching something. Maybe not. And this will probably be the most remote swim that I've ever done. So I'll be nervous because I am actually pretty terrified of the water because of too many times watching Jaws when I was young. That's ruined me. So yeah, going in the water for me is actually a really big thing and great progress on overcoming that fear. So I just realised I'm walking on sand with trainers on, and I'm pretty sure it's illegal to do that. You have to have bare feet on the sand. So I've got trainers off. It's fairly soft sand here, so I guess this is all tidal. I guess the tide is out, and I'm lucky to have the exposed sand, because otherwise it would be a stony beach. So this is it, making my way down to the sea to have a little paddle. I figure, what's the point in paying for sterilised water in the campus shower when I can stay fresh and clean in nature? Also love the feeling of salt water as it dries on my skin. It's something I used to hate it, but I've really come to love it. That slightly sort of tacky feeling, which also brings me memories of being on the beach so much with Arthur over the last year and so, and yeah, happy relaxing times. So as I make my way down to the sea, now I'm getting farther away from the sort of the bank, I've got even more amazing views of the mountains in the background. It's just so epic. Love this. What a great way, just 3 hours away from home, to spend a Saturday. And just in there, front, sort of central to the camera shot, is, I think, a heron, if you can see it. So the sea here is just right for me. I'm a good swimmer, but I'm not confident in water because of crazy imagination. But it seems to, like the beach, the sand slopes really gently, and there's like a foot of water, and it's crazy as it sounds, but that's good for me just to get in, especially when I'm on my own. I'm more confident if I'm with other people, but yeah, I'm gonna have a go at standing the camera close to the water. Hopefully I don't ruin my phone, but yeah, you get an idea of this beautiful, huge enclosed Cardigan Bay. Oh, that is just absolutely epic. So, good place for children as well, nice and super safe. Yeah, for me that's just awesome. I love it. I feel blessed to be here and doing this sort of thing, and hopefully inspiring a few others to get out in our own beautiful country, have compassion for the world that we live in, and want to look after it, because it is a stunning, beautiful place. And often we don't necessarily need to travel abroad to go and find unique and special places. There are so many on our doorstep. Luckily, having got the Hidden Beaches book and then the Wild Guide to Wales, I'm just discovering stuff that's breathtaking, and there's so much of it out there, and it's not far from home, even though home is the camper, and it's not far from Pershore, I should say. Right, so I'm back in the camper. I forgot to read out a bit from the book about the place that I've come. So here's a bit what the book says. So past the abandoned Second World War army barracks to reach a long, wild beach of the rapids of the Advertise meet the sea. Yeah, it was exactly that. What a great trip. So next on my plan for the day is to go north up the coast slightly to another beach and church, which I'll cover in another video.